Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly. And I've got a good one for you today because banks are preparing for blackouts. Who knew? Before I get into it, please take a second. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. But let's get right into it. Think about this. The banks around the globe are starting to work on contingency plans for blackouts. Isn't that weird? Isn't that awful? Now, in the UK, they talked about how they almost had a blackout on the east side of London over the summer in July, and they narrowly beat it because of an energy shortage, and it would have been devastating to the banking system. Why is that? Why is that? Well, here's the thing, guys. We are being told that they are preparing for this, and as I started to research this was sent to me from a few different people. And then you start to look at it. Wait a second. This isn't just Zero Hedge. This is from Reuters. This is from the AP. This is from around the globe that these banks are working on this. Now, think about this. Andrew Rogan is the UK resiliency executive who's working on the resiliency of this company, all these banking companies, and how they can fight the energy problems. Hey, buddy. So, we're seeing this time and again right now. And what's crazy is whatever they plan on happens. That's what's going to happen. Now, think about this. A month and a half ago, this was not really a big deal, but it became a big deal. A friend of mine went into a Bank of America and half the lights were on in the building. I'm sorry, we have a power outage. We can't let you take any money out of the bank. There's no way to do normal banking procedures. You have to use the ATM. Wait a second, the ATMs work, but you guys don't have a computer. No. And they were sitting there. Somebody was typing, somebody's on the phone. And I'm like, wait a second, this doesn't make a lot of sense. This is Tamarack, and you can see how the erosion is when the waves beat against it, or the wall, and just how wet it gets all the time. It's kind of cool. Again, I'm still in San Diego. But this is crazy, guys. Think about this. Citibank, Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, PNP, Paribas Bank, HSBC. All these banks around the world are preparing for power outages. Isn't that odd? And if we can talk about this now and have a resiliency plan to fight this, it'll be much better. We're going to go to the lockdown plan of where we're going to have workers work off site in the event of power outages. Okay, if you take a teller and send them home and have them answer the phone, they cannot conduct any business. They can't transfer money. You can't get money out. You can't do anything during this time. So the banks, what they're telling us is absolutely a lie. This is going to be one way that they're going to limit you from getting your access to your money. And if you don't think that's the way it is, you're kidding yourself right now. So, share your thoughts on this, but this is globally a huge global problem right now that they're working on. And it's just a way to say, hey, get ready because there could be power outages. Now, as we try to get to net zero and not using fossil fuels, and if you read these articles below, it makes zero sense. The fact that you're trying to get people away from certain types of energy has nothing to do with the lights being on at a bank. And we're going to look at contingency and backup power and how we can have the lights on. Well, no, wait a second. It's telecommunications, guys. This is all about telecommuting and everything through online banking right now that they want to limit for us. This is unbelievable that they're doing this. But again, they want you to get ready for this because this is going to be a problem. We need to be like South Africa, this man said in the article about how they deal with power outages all the time, and they've set up backup plans and backup generators, but they have power outages and rolling blackouts all the time. Well, okay, we need to get to a point that we can survive this. But for banks to sit down and talk about this, they had a cyber symposium in January where you've got 10 different countries participated in banking, And they talked about what would happen if we had a worldwide cyber shutdown. Well, isn't that kind of interesting that they would do that? Well, now they're talking about what would happen if we had massive power outages. How could that happen, guys? Why would it happen? What would happen in London affect me in Southern California? It makes no sense. But no. It could happen. No, it couldn't. It's completely separated, by ocean, by continents, by everything. And it's completely different. But you're going to act like it's all intertwined. And the banks are acting like it's intertwined. So again, one more way to limit access to you getting to your money is the power outages that they're going to talk about. And I didn't even think much about it until my friend, I reminded her and called her again and said, how was that? What was going on? She just thought it was ridiculous. And they said that they had a power outage. They couldn't get money in and out of the bank, but you could use the ATM. Well, this story, see how this opens up way down here outside the cliff. It's really beautiful. The tide's out quite a bit. Guys are surfing guys are fishing on the surf right now, which is nice. And they lock the poles in. It's kind of a cool thing. But I'm not buying this, guys. I'm not buying this at all. And again, get yourself ready. Get yourself ready for being told things when you have, European banks and banks here in the States working together because we're concerned about this as a problem too. It makes no sense. And you're talking about, there's going to be such a shortage of natural gas this winter that it's going to create power outages. Maybe in some archaic villages in the UK, you're going to have power go out and people will die, and it will be the power company's fault that they can't keep power on. If you know about this problem now and you're not working on this, that's on you. It's not on us that we're using too much and we're, driving to work and going to work and heating our homes and feeding our children and running our businesses. But you need to get ready for them cutting energy back and you not being able to run your business. That's what they're talking about right now. And again, just socializing, getting out, whether it's football, soccer, whatever you want to call it, but globally being able to get around and not being entertained at all. And banking. Oh yeah, you can't do anything. So you can't have money right now. Think about this. And they're working on this plan. But when you read these stories, this will concern you. Now, here in Southern California, they're talking about possible problems with natural gas and how natural gas is going to be, very expensive and limited. And we have a problem with it. Well, we have plenty of it here. Okay, it doesn't make any sense. And all we've been told is that it's the cleanest burning fuel that you can burn is natural gas. Well, not anymore, because the state of California, think about this, on Friday passed a law that states that they want to get rid of all natural gas burning stoves and furnaces. So you can't heat your house with natural gas right now as of 2030. So that's insane, guys. You're going to have to use electricity for everything. I want you to think about this. An electric heater to heat a home of any size, 1,500 square feet, 2,000 square feet, 2,200, 3,000 square feet on up, you need natural gas with the blowers that cool these places down. You need it for a building too. No, it's going to be all electricity. And again, there's not enough electricity to solve this problem. This is a huge problem, guys. So, I love the people that whenever anything like this comes up, we need to get to solar energy because it's free. You're kidding yourself. Here, with that new Inflation Reduction Act sham that they just passed, they upped the solar rebates to 30%. Well, why would they need to do that if it's free? And again, all the solar companies have raised their prices right now. So this is incredibly expensive. Also, check this out, guys. Look at this. Just see the water, how it beats against this. It's about 15, 18 feet in the air, but the water, when the tide comes in, beats up against this thing, and all this moss grows on it. Just a really pretty spot. You can see all the moss on the rocks over here. But just a beautiful spot for people to surf at, hang out. But think about it. You can't have a gas-powered leaf blower anymore. They have to use electric. Any landscaper that has any size I've talked to, these things don't last. They're not nearly as powerful as the gas-powered leaf blowers. and we have to have triple the units to do the regular amount of work. How is that energy efficient? Let me ask you that. So banks are preparing for you to be cut off and there to be power outages right now. And California, again, this insane state, 2030, you cannot buy a gas furnace. What? Who in the heating industry is not furious about this? Have you guys just, do people just roll over now? Is that it? Oh, you can't have a gasoline powered car. Oh, okay, I guess we can't sell what we're selling. Don't you guys say, wait a second, you're going to kill an entire industry. What about the repair and maintenance? So you're going to not have gas lines installed to new construction. Think about that. You won't have gas. You won't be able to barbecue with gas. You'd have to buy propane to do that. It's nuts, guys. So share your thoughts on all this stuff because it's just getting crazier. But if you don't think that one of the shenanigan moves is going to be, hey, we're out of, right now we're out of power at the bank, you can't take money out. Oh, okay. That's what's going to happen next. But look at this story because it's not just London, and you cannot just say it's one city. It's all around the world. And there people are preparing for this right now, and it's insane. Okay? Cyber attacks are preparing for. They're preparing for this. Usually what they prepare for happens. That's what happens, guys. So let me know what you guys are thinking about all this because I think that it's getting nuts right now, guys. It really is. And they want to limit the cash. Everything. Every time I do a banking video, I get people that talk about the problems that they have with the banks. And, scheduling appointments. Think about this. You can't get cash out. Well, listen, these cashier's checks. How many do you need? Now think about it. Some banks charge as much as $15 for a cashier's check. And they want you to schedule the time that you're going to come in to get cashier's checks printed. But wait a second. They're going to limit it down and down and down and down and down to where you're going to have an hour. And there's going to, I'm sorry, we didn't get to everybody that needed, work done. So they're going to limit our access to our money. It's that simple. It's that simple. So let me know what you guys think about all this stuff. One thing I have not believed during the health crisis has been the number of people that are unemployed right now. And, I don't believe that we're at 3.7%. Jerome Powell talked about this and said, hey, we have an aggressive plan. And because they've lied about this, because they've had the number so low, it's created a real problem because anything's going to bump that number up. And he says by the end of 2023, that unemployment's going to get to 4.4%. That would be a miracle if that happened because you're going to see so many people lose their job and they're talking about the vulnerable people. Well, that's the less educated and that's the minority communities. It's the poorer communities overall across the country. And this is the same thing around the globe, guys. You're going to see less and less people work and you're going to see overeducated people take jobs that they're overqualified for. That's going to happen because they need to eat during this time. So you're going to see a shift in work, to say the least. It's just going to happen. Now, in addition to that, the PPP loans, remember that these were the loans for businesses to pay their employees. The first one was for an 8-week period. The second one, it even self-employed people. And plus, at my conference, how about this? At my conference in 2021, when it first started, the SBA broke the news that self-employed people could get one of those PPP loans. It was crazy. It was nice. It was very flattering that they did this, but that was breaking news at that event, that they could do that. Now, here's the thing. Because they could do that, people that were self-employed could get a PPP loan. There were criminals in Illinois that were in Joliet jail, penitentiary, okay, that went out and got themselves PPP loans to pay their bond and to get themselves out of jail. They used government PPP loans to do that. There's an incredible story below about how these people fixed it so that they could go out and get themselves out of jail. And it's not funny, but it's funny because it's insane. And because there are so many businesses that I tried to help that may have had a hiccup financially, or hey, I didn't pay my visa for 2 months and I was kind of broke, but I've got 9 employees and we need this money, couldn't get the money. But criminals in prison were getting that. That's crazy, guys. Absolutely crazy. A big thing right now are what they call billionaire bunkers, where billionaires are going out and spending all this money to protect themselves if a end of the world scenario hit, or if there was mass crime. Now, mass crime, think that'll happen? Think about this. In Illinois, there was a Wawa store, which was a convenience store, kind of like 7-Eleven, kind of like Circle K, just a simple chain retail store that a group of hundreds of people went in and cleaned this place out, and just coordinated effort. I don't know if it was through Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, whatever they did, but they knew to be there at this time, and everybody went in there and grabbed stuff for free and didn't care that the cameras were rolling, and took everything and cleaned the place out. This is going to get scarier, guys, because you're going to see more and more people do things like this. The thing that's crazy is, when do they do this at the wrong location? When do they do this with somebody that's strapped? That's the question I have for you, because I don't get it. I don't get that they can just do this and roll over a place and there not be consequences to these people. So share your thoughts on that. All these government loans that these people got that they cleaned everybody out of, it's nuts right now. And guys paid their bail to get out of this. So share your thoughts on this stuff, guys. Let me know what you're thinking about this. There is a law that they're trying to implement around the country where they're going to have kill switches on all cars. So with that, they're just, the police, anybody's going to be able to just shut your car off. Now, I don't know if I agree with that. I think it's awful. I think it's bad enough that people drive Teslas and they can't get access to it. Again, I think about these companies. What's going to happen with these companies if Elon wants to shut everybody off? What do you do with that? Seriously. Because I think that's what's happening right now. I'll give you a great example. Mario Zelaya. Now, you may have heard this story already. This guy lives in Canada. He paid $130,000 like a fool. He got fleeced for a Tesla in 2013. Okay? 130 grand. What an imbecile. Now, this guy, okay, his battery died. Well, okay, recharge it. No, the battery is dead. So he's trying to get a hold of Tesla to have them fix the car. They can't fix the car right now. So he has to get a new battery for $21,000. Now, here's the worst part. He can't get in the car. He can't get access to the car. He can't show ownership of the car because the battery's dead. Okay, what a great plan. No, you don't want to print out your registration. You want to have it in the vehicle so you have it for a rainy day. Well, that's insane, guys. Again, how about a file in your house, in the kitchen? Okay, it's funny. I know where the title to my car's at. I know where the credit cards are at. I know the statements are at. I know where the important documents are at. Wouldn't you think that the registration and the ownership document for a car that you paid $130,000 would be printed someplace? Not this guy. No. And again, Tesla encourages that. How do you encourage this? It's just stupid. And the guy right now has no access to the car right now. So share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys, because it's absolutely crazy. Okay. Oh, don't mind me. I'm just shooting a video. I'm in your conversation. So share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. Let me know what you're thinking. There's so much happening right now, and Suffolk County still doesn't have their courthouse back. The city government is completely locked down. Late last week, I had talked about Optus as a bank in Australia, and it's a telecommunications company. But here's the thing, guys. 9.8 million people were compromised during that. 9.8 million people from this telecommunications company were compromised and had all their personal information stolen, and you have no idea the damage of this. This was a major score. And again, I don't believe these people that they're not going to use this information. I believe that once this happens, it needs to be lawsuit city. And I don't know how it is in Australia, but here you should sue everybody. That's my personal thing. But the ransom that they wanted was $1.53 million to give all the information back. Well, what does that do? Does it mean that they're not going to compromise this? Hey, we'll never look at this stuff. Well, they're starting to post things that they're getting from people to say, hey, wait, this is happening and this is what we're doing. Okay. So get yourself ready. Guys, change your passwords. Look at everything you do online. And don't, I like my cat 123. Don't do that, guys. Change your passwords and have things set up in such a way that you are protected, and you change it routinely. You change the filter in your furnace, at least you're supposed to, every 3-6 months. Okay? I do mine every 3 months. I have it on the fridge just to remind me so it's clean. It doesn't smell like, Dirty Dan or anything like that, So why don't you change your passwords too? And also have it written down in that folder of all the important information so that you can say, is it 321, 123, or is there a pound, asterisk? What's in there, guys? So you remember this stuff, okay? It's that simple. Now, the other thing, great article out of the UK about how, hey, the plant-based meat failed. Why did it fail? Well, it failed, number one, because it tastes horrible. You'd have to be starving to like this plant-based fake meat. I don't understand vegetarians and vegans that don't eat meat, okay? But then you have to have something that resembles meat. It doesn't make any sense. That I don't just don't eat meat then, okay? Last time I did this, I had all these people send me recipes and how, oysters, you can make them taste like bacon, all this stuff. Oyster mushrooms, that is. Make them taste like bacon. It's crazy. But think about this. In 2019, Beyond Meat was worth more than Macy's was. It was worth over $10 billion. It was worth more than the Xerox company. Remember Xerox? Hey, go to the Xerox machine and print me out a document. Well, that was basically like saying Jell-O. You know what I mean? It was such a generic term for printing something and using the copier. You'd use the Xerox machine. The plant-based stuff was compared to that it was as good as. No, it sucks, guys. It tastes horrible. And, we'll do a field trip this week where I'll go eat one of those things again, because there's one of them being shoved down our throat here in Southern California. And because I'm a giver and I like pain, I'm going to go eat this stuff. But again, I've never had one that tasted real, and I don't understand it. I don't sit there and eat veggie burgers and sit there and say, hey, those are great. I just don't do it. I've never sat there and thought, I'm having a meat substitute. So share your thoughts, guys, on all this stuff. And, McDonald's did this thing called the McPlant, which was a soy-based or plant-based, excuse me. I always get people that correct me when I say soy-based. Plant-based burger that didn't sell. Well, it didn't sell because it wasn't, a quarter pounder, guys. It wasn't a Big Mac. It wasn't a burger. It sucked, guys. So share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. I really want to know what you think. And again, do you eat this stuff? Again, any vegan that I've met doesn't eat stuff like this, doesn't need to pretend they're eating meat. They do other things, to replace it. That's how they live. So let me know what you guys think. Share your thoughts. I'm trying not to get hit by the Frisbee right now. Okay? Wouldn't it be great if I conked in the head? Conk. Anyways. Yeah. This is very simple. Interest rates are going to kill financing of anything. Interest rates are going to kill, right now, the mortgage industry. Think about this. The making of this video, the average 30-year mortgage, 30 years, 6.7%, baby. That's if you've got good credit, proper down payment, proper income, you're a star. Now, of the hottest 100 real estate markets, just here in the States, you're starting to see major cracks where they're starting to drop a ton. The New York Post, of all places, did a great article on this, talking about how real estate is tanking. And you're talking about areas that were super hot, like Seattle, that have taken a dive. San Jose, California, certain areas in Florida. Of the top 10 states, top 10 cities, 4 are here in California. Okay, well that should just warn you right there. So share your thoughts on this stuff, guys, because you're starting to see major cracks in this stuff. And you're starting to see where people cannot afford these houses, and it's affecting everything. It's affecting jobs, and that's the other thing. You know, normally right about now, you start to see the ads here locally. Hey, get that holiday job, work at Macy's, work at this store, work at Costco, all these different places. I am seeing none of that right now. I'm not seeing it at Best Buy. I'm not seeing it any place right now. So what's going to happen? Are they not going to have holiday hire? Is it not going to happen at Walmart? I'm telling you guys, I was in a Walmart yesterday that was absolutely dead. And the workers, oh, we like it when it's like this. It's really a nice break. Well, this is the kiss of death, guys, because the one thing that could never happen before was a Walmart closing. Proved that in Irvine, California, where it went down for the count. So share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. You're going to see the real estate market take a complete turn right now. And realtors don't want to admit that. People in the mortgage businesses don't want to admit that, but it's happening. And the problem, the people that financed their houses to the hilt in these new communities, that saw them go from 200,000 to 500,000. Those are the most vulnerable people. Yes, there are rich people. I had a guy write me and told me about his wife passing and how he refinanced his house and got his payment down really low. But there's a guy that you don't have to worry about because he's got an $800 mortgage payment right now. And, you know, it's the way it should be, guys. You should just have it down to nothing. All the HOAs, all the homeowner associations. I don't know if you have this outside of California or not, but we have homeowner associations that are responsible for, the maintenance of your complex, the security, paving the roads, watering the plants, things like this. Because of the expense in all this, these fees are going through the roof right now. And a friend of mine said that his HOA fee in 2 years went from $340 to $800. And there's nothing you can do with that. Well, I'm not going to pay it. Okay, we're going to lien your house and foreclose on it if you don't pay us. So you got to look at all this stuff. Everybody sits there and never wants to look at a change in circumstance. Well, think about this. I don't mind working a second job, so I'll make the extra payment. Well, wait a second. When it gets to a point that you don't want to work a second job, you've got to sit there and look at everything. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to admit that they're vulnerable. They want to be the cool guy in the room and act like no matter what happens, they're going to make money. I am telling you, even in San Diego down here, you're going to see things that are going to be a huge problem. You're going to see a lot of leverage that's going to collapse. And these people that cannot afford things are going to be selling off assets to pay bills right now. It's happening. People are using credit like they've never used it before. And we have to worry about the banks having a power outage. How insane is that? Think about what I'm talking about. With the stock market right now, it is in la la land. There's nothing real about any of this stuff other than the fact that it should be down 10,000 points as far as I'm concerned. But I'm not a financial advisor and I'm not giving you financial advice. I don't believe any of this stuff right now. And I believe that they've propped everything up and it's all going to collapse someday in a huge, huge way, and you're not going to be able to afford it. But remember this, there is going to be a point in time when you will not be able to get money out of that bank. And they're going to play games with you and make sure that that happens. Even, 7 days, 10 days, things like that. You have to be ready for this stuff, guys. So share your thoughts on all this stuff. Let me know what you think about it, because I think it's only getting worse right now, guys. I'm going to finish this video with this last story. And the Ford Motor Company, you've heard of them, they just admitted that they don't have enough of the branded blue badges to complete cars. And that there's 45,000 cars that they don't have the badges for. That is an absolute lie. They don't have the parts. They have none of the components, they say, to complete these cars, but they're blaming it on the Ford emblem. Think about that. Think about the imbecile. Hey, John, what's your job? I order the badges. And he didn't do that. Okay? I don't believe this. I believe that Ford has a huge problem with delivering things, and they don't have a Ford badge. Think about that. For the F-150 trucks, by the way, that's their #1 seller, and they can't deliver 45,000 of these. And it was just admitted last Friday that the problem stems from these badges. So they were thinking about printing them 3D, and I mean, how cool. I mean, personally, if you were an F-150 guy and you were going to do this, it would be a cool thing to have one of these impromptu printed badges on your truck. But I don't believe this for a second. I believe that they don't have the components to do windows, the heating, the heating of the seats, all that stuff. So share your thoughts on this. And again, everybody over at Ford should get fired right now. The fact that Tesla is worth more than you guys is ridiculous. And again, 45,000 more cars are not getting delivered. Please do not forget to hit the like button. Please do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Onward and upward, guys. Don't forget, we've got an email list. You can sign up below. Also, there's Patreon if you want more access to me. Get some more exclusive content. I will see you guys very soon. But share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. Because we're being told things like Ford doesn't have badges. It's just insane, okay? So, good luck. Reach out. Talk to you soon.